It was unimaginable back in the mid-'80s that we would have the numbers we do today.
Going from 50 to 500 LGBT elected officials has had a remarkable impact on American politics.
It's an interesting fact as it relates to the Victory Fund's work. There isn't one jurisdiction in the United States that has ever passed a bill that recognizes LGBT families or LGBT unions unless there was an openly LGBT elected official in that jurisdiction. So it shows having a seat at the table is critical to getting our issues passed.
We put in a domestic partnership law because we are one of those states with those ugly constitutional amendments. But we have a way to recognize people's values and their families. I can't say that those things would have happened if I had not been there.
Even if you have only one in a legislative body, it makes a difference because people get to know you and they get to make a connection with you and they are willing to look at the issues that are important to you as well.
Fortunately, in Rhode Island in the last few years, we haven't had any anti-gay legislation. That difference is because of having a gay Speaker of the House now and having more gay legislators.
I serve in the state Senate, which 4 of us are openly gay. It's made it more difficult for our colleagues to push overtly anti-gay legislation.
Right now we have the 7 gay delegates and the 1 gay senator, so having the 8 of us really work both bodies was very powerful. 15 years ago, 1 state delegate sponsored marriage equality and received death threats, and then today 60 delegates sponsor the legislation.
It will make a difference in the future. When I first started in the legislature, I would not have imagined that within only 18 years I would actually be voting for marriage equality.
This bill would never have passed if we didn't have 5 openly LGBT members of our New York State Assembly. They were the ones who looked people in the eye and said, tell me why you don't want to do this for me. Tell me why my family is worth less than yours.
People were coming up to me saying, how about New York? So we talked about what would be possible in Ohio. And so every time something happens in another state, it gives us the possibility to even consider changing some of the laws.
What happens in one state absolutely influences another.
That's why it's been possible to elect LGBT people from unexpected places, like Idaho or Arkansas.
There's a collective consciousness that gets raised as more and more people not only are living their authentic lives, but they're doing it in the political realm.
It opens up the door for so many other states to say, we're just going to do this because it's right.
It's amazing that we have more than 500 elected LGBT folks across the country. That would not be possible were it not for concerted effort to make that happen. And that concerted effort has been the Victory Fund.
When I was a little girl, I really wanted to be a U.S. Senator, but when I realized that I was a lesbian, I thought that was going to be a dream that was not going to be possible. But here we are today, in my 3rd term in the Arkansas House, the first woman in Arkansas history to be chair of Joint Budget.
We are electing qualified people, and those trailblazers are building trust.
And just the sheer numbers of people who have been elected because of the support that the Victory Fund generates has brought about a whole shift in the country.
We're on the cusp of having the first lesbian elected to the United States Senate.
We have incredible leaders, all of whom have the skills that would make them attractive candidates for president. We got to start talking about them, having people imagine that. That paves the way for the day when it can really happen.
The only limits for us as a community is the limits we put on ourselves.